This is Pendragon. I don't know what I expected from this game, but it definitely surprised me. I've only played partway through a single run so far. No, that's a lie. I've played through a few failed runs, but I failed so fast it almost doesn't count. I'm partway through a semi-successful run now. This is, when I looked at the trailer, I expected this to be like any of the other turn-based tactical games that I've played recently, where, you know, it's very XCOM inspired, and that's not what this is at all. This is actually more of a chess-like game, where it's not really about sort of military tactics, and it's much more about solving the puzzle of which piece can take which piece when, looking ahead several turns down the line. And I'll show you what I mean. It's inspired by the Arthur legends, at least the story is. And the whole thing takes place in this, I don't know, really interesting art style world. It's full of these flat 2D parallax, you know, sort of shapes making up the landscape. And everything has got this kind of stained glass style to it. So I'm playing Guinevere, and she's been separated from Arthur. Arthur is about to face Mordred, and all these bad things are about to happen, so she's rushing to try to get to where Arthur is. So she's got to sort of navigate this world and look at each of these locations that pop up in front of her and decide which one she wants to visit. So for instance, let's go to Rosmidvai. 2 horses are cropping the grass nearby. Well, that seems like a very peaceful place to go. Let's head over there. So sometimes you have a party of characters. Right now I only have a single character, and it's not easy always to tell where you're going to be able to recruit people and where you're not. So Payorn Priory is protected on one side by a deep, treacherous bog. No army can march across it without sinking. Guinevere picks out a path with care. So one thing I really like about this game is how they'll have a story play out as you're making your tactical decisions. We can't stop now. You don't know that. Of course I know. It's too late to turn back. I don't know if these are good guys or bad guys. Okay, so when you're standing in higher ground, you can move any direction you want. And I think these are little resources that I can use to spend on special moves. I hear armor, spurs, knights. The knight blunders forward. I'm going to grab as many resources as I can. 2 of them. They're arguing. That's good. So far, every knight I've met has been evil, so... Who's there? Wait. I heard something. There's someone here. Then we'll deal with them. So notice every time I've made a move, someone has talked. And so they've got, like... This is much more complex than I would have expected it to be. Like, they've basically mapped it out, so, like, as I make these moves, a story will progress and characters will talk to each other. So I'm going to move... So these red spaces are owned by me, the blue spaces are owned by them, and that ends up having meaning to the tactics later. Whose flag do you follow, knights? You didn't encounter us, stranger. Turn around and ride away. So I'm not going to attack these people. They seem nice. Oh, nope. Nope. They are not nice. Okay. So now we're getting into the way this game actually works. So if I were to move into this space, I would be killed the next turn by this person. Because they're in higher ground, they can step in any direction, and they will automatically hunt the nearest opponent, but they're unintelligent. They will blunder into danger. Okay, so right now I've got a stance that means I can only attack laterally. So if I... I can move in either direction without changing stance, but I can't... I want to attack this guy. I guess I can't attack. So one thing I could do is push forwards, which means I can rush across tiles that I own and end up really far away, but I don't know what this guy is going to do if I do that. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to hold still and see how they behave. I can't turn back. I am needed at Camlin. As are you. So you're one of Mordred's followers? No, I'm going to keep holding position so she can keep talking. This feels like a bad idea. Sir Mordred is not my master. Sir Mordred is my enemy. You are not a follower of the Black Cross? You are of Camelot, perhaps? I was at Camelot before it fell. And I hope to see it rise again. But you two... I don't recognize you from court. We fight for no one but ourselves. We are going away. Together. Whatever my father may say. You flee from Sir Mordred? No. We're running from our families. We fell in love. Where we should not have fallen in love. So we've left our families to argue our faults between themselves. I tried loving someone I should not have loved, named Lancelot. That love burned a whole country down. We wish you both better luck. Thank you. In times like this, love is all we have. But who will stand up and fight for it? There must always be time for love. What else is the point? I have loved and lost, and now I will not lose again. Bother. You speak fine words. We'll ride with you. Maybe this is what led us out here all along. So I deliberately avoided the disappear line because I thought that might encourage them to go away. So maybe they're going to join me. So I've got Sir Nissen. Who can vault an obstacle. Okay, cool. And I've got Sir Hetwin. Who's got ready to fight. End in linear stance after a diagonal move. Okay, cool. So we haven't had a chance to look at the tactics yet, so maybe the next mission will give us a chance. Okay, so we've completed that mission. A lot of these missions are mostly about storytelling, which is kind of interesting, especially for a game that's structured like a roguelike. Like, you kind of would expect a game like that to be very light on story, but they lean really hard on telling a story with each of these missions. Dusk Sepulchre asks, did you get a chance to play the final DLC for Remnant from the Ashes? No, I haven't made much progress on Remnant from the Ashes since the last time I streamed it. I play so many different games. It's really hard to devote a lot of time to one unless it really captures my attention the way, say, Crusader Kings 3 has. I don't know what these people were saying. That's fine. It's a roguelike. I'm sure at some point I'll play through that sequence again. The sun is slipping away. Spirits amongst the group are high. Guinevere winds her way between the trees of the forest cabinet, singing an old marching song. Sir Nissen follows close behind. What this game reminds me of the most, actually, is Wildermyth, because it's all about using procedurally generated missions to create a story. Did you ever go to... Oh, I missed it. Did you feast with us sometime? Was it beautiful? Merlin designed every inch in the days before he went away. Every glade and tower perfectly balanced. He said there were 2 dragons fighting beneath Britain, and that Camelot was built above their interlocked jaws. And now the dragons have resumed their fighting? Perhaps. I wish I knew what Merlin made of Mordred and his men. He was full of wise counsel, and then he was gone. Okay, so each turn I choose who I'm going to move. How long has it been? How long? How long since what? How long since Camelot was abandoned? Barely a year? It can't have been that long, surely. And yet it seems like an age. Look how far we fell in such a short time. Is there anything left to save? Only Arthur himself. We're getting close to the blessed nunnery of Mochant. There. Yay, we gained a ration. Should I rest now? Let's keep moving. And so they leave Forest Company. I swear there's a tactical game in here somewhere. Okay, so this is a castle. Castles are scary. So my ultimate goal is to go as far north as I can. I believe my goal is... Holy crap. My goal's way up there somewhere. So if we want to make progress, let's jump as far ahead as we can. This way! Oh, it's getting dark. It's getting darker. So Naughty Dog says, would you play an older-ish game? Renegade Cops is a weird little turn-based strategy. So I just played a game called Rebel Cops that you can see on my YouTube channel. I don't know about Renegade Cops. I'll have to look it up. Is it like Rebel Cops? I don't know. We'll have to see. At Dennis Woolwade. Icy winds whistle through the dark. It is the end of a third day since Guinevere left the Library of the Holy Spirit. Fear creeps in. She does not know how long it is until Arthur and Mordred are to meet. The road has been battered by many hooves. The doors of Dennis Woolwade have been pulled roughly from their hinges. An army has ridden along this road, and recently. Mordred's men must be gathering close by. Is there anyone here? Okay, so this might be a fight. So we're going to collect this resource here, because that's what we use for our special moves. You can't hurt me. I've done things that would crush your soul. To think that knighthood is so fallen. Ah, spider. Something slides close at hand. Okay, so I can keep moving Guinevere. Basically, each turn I can move one character. I can basically have one character use one power, whether it's moving or attacking or whatever. It's not like you know, having more people doesn't mean you get more actions per turn. But the reason why you want more people is because, like chess, this is a game about tactically cornering people, because each of your characters has at any given time a limited set of attacks. Like, for instance, you see this little plus shaped symbol under that means that she can attack or move in a plus shape. She can't go diagonally. So this spider is going to arrive diagonally, and so she's got to change her stance so that she can attack diagonally. Okay, so then they didn't move the spider because she's guarding this spot. So while she's guarding that spot, we're fairly safe from that direction. So I'm going to move this guy out. Which way should we go, Guinevere, after we find our way through this? Okay, it looks like they've decided to hold still. Oh, and there's a rat over there. So I'm going to scoot him over here. These fields are full of strange things. Up ahead is the keep of Gerard, a ruin on a lonesome hill. We'll need to be careful if we go that way, or so I've heard. Okay, let's have him move up here. He's taking territory this whole time, which means that other characters can move faster through the territory that he's claimed. Let's grab Hedwin, too. Sounds like it could use some help. Oh, okay. Spiders! What black magic is this that makes them grow so oversized? Okay, so the spider did move in, which means because I'm in diagonal stance, I can attack the spider. Can't I? I think that's what I can do. It looks like maybe I can't do that. Why can't I do that? That is strange. So the spider looks like it's going to attack me. It can only attack diagonally. I'm very surprised that I'm not able to attack the spider. I guess I'll move away? Maybe Guinevere can only attack laterally even when... she can move diagonally. I'm not sure. So I'm still figuring this game out. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing. So if the spider attacks her, so this guy, what were his special? So he can leap an obstacle, which is great. What else can he do? Oh, so yeah, we don't want to move there because the spider can attack diagonally. Let's move down here. So Nissen, what are you doing? I don't know. You should not have come to Dennis Woolwade. Whatever. Okay, so the Okay, so she... Let's change stance. Okay, so maybe when she's in diagonal stance, she can't attack. So now she's in attacking. So if the spider moves forward like this, she can get it. The problem is the spider only moves diagonal anyway, so it's kind of a waste. So they've got narration for when random things happen, which is just... This feels like playing Bastion with the narrator, only it's even more uncanny sometimes what they have words for. Okay, so now she's guarding the space properly. I thought she was guarding it before diagonally. She's not. So now if the spider comes out, she can kill it, I think. Okay, so... Captured knights are removed from the board and lose 1 heart. Knights are only killed if they have no hearts left or the party flees after they've fallen. Okay, so I don't need to be... He wants to sacrifice himself for a tactical advantage. How exactly? I'm not sure what it's encouraging me to do. All men obey laws, the laws of nature, the laws of their character. I obey no one. I pity you, to have made such wrong choices and yet to be unable to turn away. Scrap. Okay, so I think he can attack diagonally, right? No? Not? He can't? Okay. So let's have him back off. Because, I mean, he wants to sacrifice himself for a tactical advantage. Just sacrificing himself randomly wouldn't be any good. Okay, so she can attack this guy, right? Yes. Okay, so she got the spider. Then you are a slave to your self-belief, and you will never understand what it is you do. Scrap. Chitter? Okay, so I've let him get cornered now. He can't attack in that direction, but the rat can. But she, because she's taken all this territory, can she run towards the rat? She can. Okay, good. So you see, this is a lot like chess in that the characters, there's no hit points. Characters just take each other in a single move. They can, there's limits on what directions they can move. Some can go diagonally, some can go laterally, some can move diagonally but only attack laterally. Feels very much like chess, but instead of having pieces that can intrinsically move any distance versus pieces that can move only one step at a time, this one lets you mark up the terrain with your own. It's almost like what's the thing with Inklings, or whatever they're called, the squid game with the shooting ink with your guns. What's that called? That game. It's like that game. You're painting the territory with your color and then using that color to be more mobile, and then you can attack characters from across the map, which is really cool. Real Trevstorm says, this game very much piques my interest as a lover of the Arthur tales. Yeah, and I'm betting that as a lover of the Arthur tales, you would probably get a lot more of the references than I'm getting. I know a few things like Guinevere having, cheated on Arthur with Lancelot, mostly because I watched First Night, when I was a kid, so... Oh, my morale is getting low. If it reaches 0, your remaining heroes will flee. How? This is my morale. Oh, okay. So... My problem is... I'm letting the battle stretch out too long. So I'm going to switch him so he can move. Oh, can this guy rocket towards me? Our liege, Sir Mordred, wishes everyone against him to be dead. I will follow the wishes of my master. Okay, it looks like he's in a position to attack me next turn. And I would like that not to happen. And I can't, because he controls this space. I can't shoot across it the way I shot across these spaces. So I think I need to move aside so that he can't attack me. And then I could change my stance. This can't go on. we gonna flee? I guess we could flee. I don't know if there's a cost to fleeing if I haven't lost any characters. So I can decide to stay longer, I guess, or flee. Let's stay longer and see what happens. Oh, she's taking damage now. Is she going to take damage for every turn that we take? Kill all enemies, your journey ends here. So she can make several moves. Attacks end of the streak. Okay, well, let's move it to this spot. I won't let you live. I won't let any of you live. And then, can she attack him now? Oh, okay. I don't quite know how that worked, but it worked. The haze of anger lifts just as suddenly as it came. It takes a moment to realize what has happened. Yeah, I don't quite realize what has happened. The last of the enemy is dead. I am alive. I am alive. Story changed. I went to the edge, but I survived. Charge 1 square further outside your territory, or charge to the far side of the board. Okay, so this is the ability that I have already. This is a new ability that I can get. It's kind of weird. Okay, let's go for it. Yeah, let's sleep here tonight. So this is the third run that I've done. And I still do not feel like I understand how this game works. Which is it's kind of interesting. I feel like I'm almost like riding the edge of a wave that's about to crash. Like, my run is about to crash and burn any time because I don't understand what's going on. But it's giving me just enough that I understand it just a little bit and can sort of stay alive. It's a fine night for a story. What would you hear? A story of Arthur Spear? Or a tale of a name? What's in a name? I'll try to remember it right. And in the crackling firelight, Guinevere begins her tale. Once I was crossing the mountains through a forgotten pass. At sunset, I reached the Cromlech, a stone arch. Such places are usually haunted by fairies. This was no exception. Around it lay a dozen shattered skeletons. I was looking for another path when the last light of day fell on one skeleton in rusty armor, standing close to the Cromlech. Standing? On 2 fleshless legs. The skeleton in the armor seemed oblivious to me. It took a faltering step towards the Cromlech. Then the walls of the pass shook, and a stone figure with a stone axe emerged. The skeleton exclaimed, "Let me pass!" But the stone figure with its stone axe and its stone voice replied, "Where no one can pass, who are you to want to pass?" The skeleton answered. The skeleton replied in the voice of dusty bone, "I am Lord Owen, son of Utwin, and I swear that I shall pass." And the stone guardian cut its head off. Like that? Just like that. But immediately the skeleton lifted its head from the ground, put it back in place, and claimed its right of way again. And again he lost his head. And again and again and again. The fight never even began. The skeleton... Oh, what did he do? How tenacious. I approached the skeleton. I waited for it to reassemble. And before he tried to pass again, I said to him, "Why don't you tell him that you are no one? Maybe then he'll let you through." Clever. But the skeleton in rusty armor replied to me thus, "I will not say I am no one, because I am Lord Orwin, son of Utwin, and I swear that I will pass." And so the stone guardian cut his head off again. Oh, so it's revealing more locations to me on the map now. There are so many. Like, you saw how much love and care and writing and, like, scripting went to each of these events you've seen so far. There are so many of them. They just keep popping up all over this map. This feels like it's got at least the scale of 80 Days, you know, where it's just like, it's a map just covered with stories. And you just keep finding them. Like, I'm amazed at how much work and care went into writing this, because the impression I get is I'm playing through Guinevere's story here, and so she's got all these interactions with these locations and things that she says and stories that she tells, but she's only one playable character. You can start unlocking a ton of characters up front and play different stories for them. Like, the amount of content that seems to be here is kind of mind-boggling, and I don't know if that content is really here. It would take a lot of playing to discover how much repetition there is, how much similarity there is between playing, with one character or another. I genuinely don't know, but this game feels large, especially for just such a small scale indie game. It feels very, very big. So, all right, let's do one more step to try to see if we can understand this game just a little bit better before we move on to something else. But so, unfortunately, because this game is so mysterious... Okay, so look, so everybody loses health, but I can spend rations to feed them up again. The problem is, because I got 3 characters, that when I've only got 1 character, it's cheap to feed her. When I've got 3 characters, they're suddenly eating me out of house and home. But their morale increases, which means I can spend longer in battles and be more, take my time more, maybe make better decisions. Sunrise on the 4th day at the blessed nunnery of Moknant. The trio ride side by side up the gentle slope toward the blessed nunnery of Moknant. This is supposed to be the hiding place of Sir Lancelot. Ooh. Guinevere finds herself in a wide stone hall. Rain spits through gaping holes in the roof. Is this place a ruin? Did Mordred burn it down? Huh? Lancelot, who's there? Have you come to gloat? Come to pick over the bones of a broken man? It's really you. They tried to kill me. I didn't let them. I should kill you, Lancelot, for what you did to my beloved Arthur, for what you did to me. If you want my life, my queen, then it is yours. Should I murder Lancelot? Lancelot. Oh, Lance, I thought I would never see you again. I'm sorry for how you find me, my lady. Since the round table fell, it turned in on itself, turned against me. I have not been myself. We were forever star-crossed. Our fates were never our own. But you came. You came back for me? I'm riding to save Arthur. I love him, Lance. I know that now. You're riding to Camlin. He faces Sir Mordred. The darkness Merlin warned us came, just as you said it would. Perhaps it didn't matter what we did. Arthur has need of you one last time. Will you fight for your king? I will fight for my friend. Whatever else may have passed between us, he was always my friend. And I will ride with you, my queen, and die for your honor. I've got way too many people to feed right now. He's got the push forwards ability, the one that I just left behind. So if I want that ability now, I can bring him into a battle and use it. Camlin's only a short distance to the north of here. We must not delay. Ooh, I've discovered the location of Camlin. If it's close, maybe I should go there and see what I can do. Burr's Cleft, that's not Camlin. There's Camlin. Can I get there? You know what? Let's go. I've got 4 people. I don't have enough food to feed them. I might as well just rush to the end and see what happens. So it looks like, so you spend time wandering around in the south, gathering characters, leveling characters up, giving them new abilities by having them play through these stories that say things about their character and who they are. It seems like each one can only have one special ability, though, just kind of like chess pieces. And So, and then ultimately you're trying to land here at Camlin. Let's see what these characters can do. Can I actually win my first run that got anywhere near this? Probably doubt it. I'm probably going to screw something up, but let's see how it goes. Late morning on the 4th day, Camlin. The sun rises like a heavy-lidded eye over the fields of Camlin. The crooked river after which the field is named is already red with blood. Mordred's encampment stretches across the nearby hills. Where are you, Mordred? Won't you come out to greet your father? I've come alone. So wait, I'm Arthur now, huh? That it should come to this. Okay, so I either want to be able to attack diagonally or shoulder bash. I don't know what shoulder bash is. Attack sideways while in diagonal stance. Or attack in diagonal stance. Let's go with this one. This one's it's what I keep thinking I can do even though I can't. My son's army swarms the slopes like ants about a corpse. And here I am, fighting to hold back the storm front. Oh, Guinevere, why could you not keep your secrets more closely? Oh, hello. Then there's a thunder roll at Arthur's back, a clatter of hooves as a party of fighters arrives, led by Guinevere. Arthur! Arthur, we've come. My queen. Can it be possible? That's not what I meant to do. Let's have her advance. My Guinevere. To look at you is to dream of happier days. To me, what's this? Advance a party member to your defense. That sounds like a complicated move that I will not be ready to deal with, so let's keep him where he is. So, who's this? A Knight of Mordred. Lady Constance. Okay, let's switch to diagonal stance. Guard your home square. Where the Knight of Sir Mordred can kill party members not yet on the board by capturing your flag. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's a bunch of knights. Okay, let's move over here. Do you remember me, Guinevere? We crossed paths at the village of the Villiers. I said I would return for you. Did I cross paths with this person? I think I might have. Sir Baron, you've done great honor to your name. I think that's the dead guy. Okay, so she... I assume these guys can attack laterally, so... Yeah, so these guys can't attack me diagonally, so I'm just going to hold with her. And I think maybe I'll switch stances. Sometimes the characters will recommend things to you. Okay, so she can attack him, but then she'll move into his space and be able to be victimized by this guy. So, I think she's going to pull back. So, she could still attack him at any time, but... This guy, we gotta do something about this guy, so... Maybe he's worried he's about to die? So wait, didn't he say... Doesn't he have... Okay, so he's got this attack diagonally power, but it costs this resource. But we've been collecting the resource like crazy, so let's do it. Oh, wait. If he advances here, she's... Just like chess. She's guarded by this guy. So, we're at kind of an impasse here. This guy's a problem. He's guarding everyone. And if she moves up on him now... Okay, so what we need is someone who can maybe take him out diagonally or tempt him forward. Or if we could take... I mean, we could sacrifice Guinevere to take this guy out, which will make this guy easier to get, but that seems bad. So, maybe what we'll do instead is grab another character. Okay, so he's in the wrong stance now to attack her. So let's back him up. He's in diagonal stance. Does that mean he can't attack me? Yes, that is what that means. If I get Arthur up here, he can maybe take out that knight. So I don't think she's in immediate danger. Another knight, that's what I needed. Okay, so he can move okay, so let's move Arthur down here. Let's change him to linear stance. This guy's leaving? Okay, sure. So I don't think she's in danger. So let's move him up. Okay. So what I want is somebody in a position here to take that knight out, but now this guy's guarding. The problem is you can't move and attack. Like you have to sort of don't want to do that. You can't just move someone into a position to attack and then attack the next turn because they're going to get attacked. So I wonder if there's a way. Okay, so that guy's not guarding him anymore, but she is. Ooh, okay. Can she use this? Okay, no, this is just a move. It's not an attack. Dang, too bad. So she could move here and then... Okay, so I think they've actually outfoxed me here because if she moves to the side, she'll get killed by this guy. Yeah, I don't have a lot... So can Arthur switch with her? Let's see. I'm not good at this. So maybe Arthur can step up here. That puts him in danger. Yeah, I don't have a lot of great options here. I think I've gotten myself into a problem. Real Trevstorm says, seems like there's many, many, many hours to be put into this game. Yeah, so this game has got a lot of room for me to get much better at it than I am, certainly. Clearly, I'm still sort of figuring out how to think about it. And I was just sort of moving characters roughly in a direction that seemed like it might be useful. But... yeah, I was not thinking multiple moves ahead, and I was not thinking about what I could... So, what happens if I... Okay, I can't change stance to take that space. Because sometimes when you change stances, it'll actually let you take nearby spaces, which means he wouldn't be able to shoot across that space. But... now, Arthur can attack... Okay, so if we sacrifice Guinevere... So I think we're going to sacrifice her no matter what. Okay, they didn't make the move because Arthur is capable of protecting her. So the question is, if we move Arthur up to here, he can attack diagonally, so it'll threaten this guy, and Arthur will be protected by her, but I think Arthur can also attack laterally. So I think she's not in any more danger right now than she was before. Okay, and so because he can attack diagonally, I can have her... This is just like chess, wow. I can have her advance because she's protected. But this guy's protected twice, so we could move her up. They could take her. Arthur would take whoever she took, but then Arthur would get killed. We don't want Arthur to die. So maybe if they're at an impasse right here, enter linear sense after making diagonal. Okay, that's not very useful to him right now. So let's just move him to the side. Let's try to advance him on the lady. So he's threatening her. She might take him and get out of the way, and at that point we can make the trade we need to make to kill the rest of the knights. So let's do that. So Sir Hetwin's willing to give his life. The Knight of Sir Mordred reacts foolishly, raising his blade defensively. Okay, so we can now take this. Now, that might move the knight. Okay, so if he takes her, the knight might move up to take him. And then I don't have any way to fight anyone. So maybe taking her would be a bad move. Arthur could attack this knight. And then he would be vulnerable to everybody, so we don't want that. Guinevere could take this knight, and then should be vulnerable to either one of these folks attacking. Then, yeah, that still puts Arthur in danger. So, another thing I could do is, so basically I could just leave everyone at this impasse and just bring in yet another character. He can jump over an obstacle. That's not really a very valuable ability. Well, let's just see what happens when I do this. This is probably a bad move. Farewell, Lady Constance. You have dogged our steps for long enough. Oh, another knight appears. Instead of... Okay, so he is aimed at Arthur now, I think. So that's bad. Okay, yeah, so that is pretty bad. So with this guy aimed at Arthur, I have to either move someone in the way, which I don't think anyone here can do. I have to take him out, or I have to move. I think I might have to move Arthur, because I'm assuming that this is like chess and that losing Arthur loses the game. So if I back Arthur up, that's one thing that will work. I don't think I have any way to stop this from happening. So luckily, Arthur still protects Guinevere even if he backs away. So we'll do that. Oh, the Great Queen finally admits defeat. Guinevere! Oh crap, he's not protecting her. I just realized. Okay, so I lost Guinevere. And if Arthur attacks this knight right now, this knight owns some territory and can come after him. So let's just step in the way and sacrifice this guy. Oh, he ran away. What causes him to run away? How odd. Okay, so he can attack this guy. Why did they run away? Such a freaking mystery. Okay. Well, so I could move him up here, which probably just puts him in danger of getting killed. Let's kill one more guy before I inevitably die. There's a path uphill from here. I see someone waiting. A grim figure. Die! Hetwin was beaten. I strike for Mordred. So because this is the final battle, characters just die immediately. There's no health or anything like that. Okay, so let's move him up. I can fight my way through to Mordred himself. So I could kill this knight. I don't think there's any value to it. Not if I can complete the board. I'm coming for you now, Sir Mordred. Whew, okay, we did it. Oh, I can get an additional attack. A spin attack to hit everybody? Spin into linear stance. Okay, so I can change stances to attack someone. Interesting. Versus strike diagonally without moving. Oh, without moving. Okay, I like that. It's kind of what I wanted a lot of the time. Guinevere lies trodden in the mud. Nearby, Sir Hetwin is curled up in the earth, finally at peace. But Arthur cannot stop to weep for them. Again, I love how they concatenate these sentences to make what happened in the game be what happens in the story. On the hill above the bloody field stands a figure that could be Arthur's son, Mordred. Okay, here we go. Okay, Arthur peers through the haze to see the figure beckoning with a crooked finger. The sounds of the battle are lost behind him as he approaches. Here I am, son, where you wanted me. You came to see me crowned? Father, I am touched. I feel like I saw this scene at the ending of Excalibur when I was a kid. Let's move up here. No, Mordred. I've come to see you throw down your sword. Let me be a father to you. Mordred sneers. A father to me. Oh, you are my father. I'm quite certain of that. I'm the rightful heir. And the previous king lost all control, wouldn't you say? This country needs me. This country wants me. Okay, so if I move up here, he's gonna... Oh, maybe not. You've whipped the people into a bloodlust, that's true. They will sell their skins in your service. They know who their king is. They know which way the wind is blowing. Can I just murder him now? The fine edge of Arthur's sword flashes in the rain. Father! I'm sorry, son. Father, I always hated you. I knew you were a monster. I tried to be a good man. Did you try? For anything ever? Or did you expect to be given it all just because of who I was? My father was a beast who wore fine clothes, as am I. You chose your ignorance. You wore it like a cloak. I pity you, my son. Mordred stares back with glassy eyes, a cruel smile moving across his lips as though with joy. Console Freak asks, is this a Star Wars reference? No, Star Wars is a this reference. We have I'm so sorry. I detest you. On the lower slopes, the sound of war still rides from the field of battle. Arthur hears the shouts of the other two still alive. But Arthur cannot give a cheer. Camelot is gone. Guinevere is dead. So much has been lost. Then Arthur stumbles, looking down at his side. Mordred's sword is buried just beneath his lowest rib. We were the last of the Pendragons, you and I. The black dragon and the red. Together we could have done so much good. The old king falls to his knees, his eyes begin to mist over. It is growing cold. Night is drawing in before its time. Merlin, did we do enough? When this madness ends, will they remember? So it ends. Britain, AD 673. Mordred has fallen, killed by his own father. Songs will be sung about travelers' bonfires of the Battle of Camlan, but for now, a long, cold dark will fall. Camelot is no more, only the dream will survive. So now we can sort of see the story that we told with Guinevere. And eventually, is it going to show us... Oh yeah, so that's where we met her. Wow, there's a lot of this. Oh, the spider. Okay, yeah, that's where we added these knights. So it's kind of fun. Like, I love seeing sort of a sum up of everything you did along the way at the end of a game. Here comes Lancelot. And so yeah, so basically just like a chess game, I ended up burning my pawns, in order to achieve an objective. And then at the end, I managed to preserve the king to win the game. Though, this has always been a tragic story. So now we survived with the 2 characters that I didn't even bring into the battle. Pendragon, an Ingle game. And here go the credits. So this game is fascinating. It's got this chess-like battle mechanic, which is crazy. It's got this roguelike structure where, despite the fact that I'm choosing what happens and I'm making all these branching choices, the story still adapts to tell the story that I'm telling, which is very reminiscent of Wilderness, which is one of my favorite, recent games like this that I've played. And I mean, they've done such a good job of putting this together. And like that final conversation between Arthur and Mordred, there's apparently so many different ways it could go. But I don't know, it was all well written and felt satisfying. I really like this game. It's so weird though. It's not like any game I've ever played, and that's what I like about sort of running around from indie game to indie game. The fact that a lot of these games I only play them for a couple hours here and there, and sometimes I don't learn very much. This game is so weird and out there. I feel like it's kind of broadened my idea of what games can do. So because it's such a small indie game, I'm assuming that these credits will be fairly short, but maybe not. Are these? Oh, campfire tales. They had different writers writing the different campfire tales. So what's the name of the one that? Oh, About Names up at the top. That's the one that I played, and they gave it a different color. So they're letting me know how many campfire tales I haven't seen yet. The Man Who Couldn't Fart. What? Okay, The Man Who Couldn't Fart. That's a story in this game. Sure. Wow, there's a lot. And they're written by so many different people. Did they just get, like, friends to contribute? Or what? Oh, this is fascinating. Wow, 1 tester. Congratulations. That had to be really hard. Oh, additional playtesting. Okay, still, 1 full-time tester. Honestly, just getting 1 full-time tester on an indie game this scale is pretty good. So Ron Talbot showed up and said, "Great game, fast with many replays and great stories." So that's the impression I get. And I actually read this. I think I read the reason I got this game is because I read a review of it in Rock Paper Shotgun, where they said a similar thing, that they got to the end and they won, but they weren't let down because they got the sense that you're supposed to win this game many, many times. It's about seeing a ton of different iterations and a ton of different stories, not about just getting to the end one time and having a single satisfying ending. It's about seeing the breadth of possibility. And so, the fact that they won it quickly did not mean that they had exhausted the game. So, there we go. Okay, so I've progressed enough. They're willing to offer me a harder difficulty. So that was just me winning on a very early difficulty. Clearly, this game gets harder and harder as you go, and you have to be very, very clever to make it work. So I've started as Guinevere before. You can start as Lancelot. You can start as a range of different... Look at all these different... There's a bunch of these. So you can start as all these different characters, and they all, I imagine, have different stories to tell. And each of them probably has multiple different stories to tell that are associated with different combat abilities. And I really like that connection, too, by the way. The fact that you get different combat abilities for Guinevere by making story and character choices about her. They sort of... This game is more about the stories than about the... or at least it's maybe equally about the stories. Versus the tactics. And so they merge them together so you can't just focus on one or the other. You kind of are doing both at the same time. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up and get out of here. I'm really glad I played that though. Again, feel like it broadened my horizons.